Gonna give it half a minute more before we begin. I hope you guys have been having a good week. I'm gonna invite you guys to just find a child's pose as we wait and see if any others are able to join us tonight. Bringing your knees nice and wide to the sides, big toes to touch. Walking your hands forward, slowly releasing your forehead to your mat, bringing your hips a little bit closer to your ankles. And begin to breathe. Start to breathe into that low belly, deepening your breath, expanding nice and round with every inhale. Drawing your navel a few inches closer to the spine with every exhale. Nice big breaths in and out. With every inhale, finding a little bit of extra length in the spine. With every exhale, see if you can sit those sit bones nice and heavy, a little bit closer towards your ankles. Good time to set your intention for your class today if you'd like to do that. Pay some attention to the pace of your breath as you're breathing in and out, and just notice what that feels like at its natural cadence. On your next inhale, we're going to press into our hands and come into a tabletop position. Aligning your hips over your knees, your shoulders over your wrists.
On Apple TV.
Take an inhale, reach your right hand forward and left heel back. Engage your core.
Just relax.
Really reach the fingertips forward. Point those left toes down towards the mat. Take one more inhale to reach. As you exhale, draw your knee to your elbow. Squeeze. Inhale, extend. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale. Exhale. One more. Inhale. Exhale, squeeze. Take an inhale to stretch, and as you exhale, just float it down. Let's repeat on the other side. Inhale, reach your left fingertips forward, right toes down to the ground, reaching that right heel back behind you. Take an inhale to really stretch, engage the core, find that stillness. As you exhale, draw that knee towards the elbow. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach. Exhale, squeeze. Inhale, reach one more time, and as you exhale, just float it down. Walk your hands forward. We're coming into a puppy pose, keeping your hips nice and high over your knees. Begin to lower your forearms down, your forehead down. Really coming into your breath here, the same as you would in your child's pose. Letting your belly expand with every inhale, drawing your navel closer to your spine with every exhale. On your next inhale, pressing into your hands, walking up, finding that tabletop position, coming back into your child's pose. Knees nice and wide, big toes to touch. Sitting those sit bones down towards your ankles, forehead onto the mat. Just taking a few breaths here to release that spine. On your next inhale, press into your left palm, reach your right hand underneath. Coming into a twist, bring your right shoulder and your right ear onto the mat. And just breathe. Coming back into that natural pace of your breath. Really noticing the feeling of the cool air coming in, warm air coming out. Next, inhale, pressing into that left hand, coming back, pressing down into that child's pose just for one breath. Inhale, pressing into the right hand. We're going to repeat on the second side, reaching the left hand underneath your body. Left ear, left shoulder onto the mat. Last breath here. Next, inhale, pressing into that hand, coming on up. We're going to do one more core strengthening here. Coming onto our right knee and our right hand. Try to align that right hip over the right knee. And we're just going to come into a bit of a balance here, extending the left hand up, extending the left heel back. It's almost like a side plank, but very supported. But that gives us the ability to really work on opening the chest, lining that left shoulder over the right shoulder, trying to align that left hip over the right hip, really rolling your body open towards the left. For added challenge, you can bring your gaze up towards the thumb, finding that extension in your spine, all the way through to your neck. Taking one more inhale here. As you exhale, release, come on down back into your tabletop position. Good, setting up for the other side. You're gonna ground in through the left knee and the left hand, trying to align that shoulder over the wrist, the hip over the knee, and then begin to open up towards the right. Reaching the right fingertips up towards the ceiling, right heel back behind you. Engaging that core to find that stillness. And coming into that balance, drawing the right shoulder back, aligning it over the left. Working on opening those hips, bringing that right hip aligned over the left hip. For added challenge, bringing your gaze up towards your thumb. One more inhale. As you exhale, release. Coming into your tabletop position, we'll do a few rounds of cat-cow. With an inhale, bringing your gaze up towards the ceiling, chest forward and up, dropping the belly, tipping the tailbone up towards the ceiling as well. Big inhale here as you exhale, rounding the spine, tucking the tailbone, bringing your gaze between your knees. Inhale, coming into your cow. Exhale, coming into that cat. We're going to do 3 more rounds of this at your own pace. Really work on finding that full motion in your spine, whatever that looks like for you today. Moving nice and slow. Trying to stick with the pace of your breath. And when you're done that last cat, just coming back into a neutral spine. Take an inhale to roll over your toes and come into a high plank. As you exhale, drop your knees. Chaturanga all the way down, elbows nice and tight to your body. Inhale, baby cobra, peeling your chest forward and up. As you exhale, pressing into a tabletop position, roll over your toes, downward dog. Maybe it's your first downward dog for the day. Go ahead and bend each knee. Just begin to limber up, finding some length through the back of both legs. Maybe you move your hips from side to side. That feels good. Maybe you're playing with your weight distribution, whatever this looks like, working towards bringing your sit bones as high up towards the ceiling into a pike as you can, and working on balancing your weight distribution, 50% in your hands, 50% in your feet. Taking one more inhale here and exhale. Inhale, come on back up into your high plank. Exhale, drop your knees, chaturanga down. Inhale, baby cobra. Exhale, tabletop through to downward dog. We're gonna float out a few more times. Always an option to meet us here in downward dog. Always an option to continue to drop your knees to the ground if you want to focus on your posture. Also an option to keep your knees off the ground, coming into a full flow. And I'll cue to that from here on out. Taking that inhale in your high plank. Exhale, chaturanga to hover. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And breathe. Take an inhale here to high plank. Lift those left toes up off the ground. As you exhale, chaturanga. Last part to land is your left toes. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, roll over the toes, downward dog. Inhale, come forward to plank, right toes to hover. Exhale, chaturanga. Bring the right toes to the mat. Upward dog, inhale. Downward dog, exhale. Take an inhale, lift your left heel up towards the ceiling and breathe. You can bend that left knee. Draw that left heel towards the right hip. Stack that left hip over the right hip. Breathe into that left hip. One more inhale here. As you exhale, draw the left knee towards the nose. Take a big step between the hands. Drop that right knee. Coming into a low lunge. Drawing those shoulders down and away from the ears. You can bring your right hand onto the mat, coming into a low lunge twist. Bringing that left hand onto the left thigh. Working towards rotating your spine. Maybe even looking over the left shoulder. To go a little bit deeper, you can reach your left fingertips towards your right foot. And maybe come into a deeper twist. One more inhale here. As you exhale, coming back to center, framing your foot. Taking that big step back, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right heel up towards the ceiling. Exhale, go ahead and bend that right knee, coming into your three-legged dog. Drawing that right heel towards the left hip. And breathe. Taking one more inhale here. As you exhale, bringing that right foot between your hands. Dropping the left knee, coming into your low lunge. Inhale. Draw those shoulders down and away from your ears. Draw your chest forward and up. And breathe. You can plant that left hand and come into a low lunge twist. Using that right hand on your right thigh to get some leverage to open your chest up towards the right. To go a little bit deeper, you can reach your right fingertips towards that left foot. Maybe you bring your gaze up and over that right shoulder. One more inhale here. As you exhale, frame your foot, find that high plank. Take an inhale. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And breathe. Take an inhale, lift the right heel up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, draw the left knee towards the nose and squeeze. Inhale, left heel up. Exhale, left knee towards the left elbow. Inhale, heel up. Exhale, bring the knee to the right elbow. Inhale, heel up. Exhale, draw that knee towards the nose. Take the big step between your hands. Good. Take an inhale, rise on up into your runner's lunge. Reaching the crown of your head forward towards the front of your mat. One line of motion from the crown of your head to the heel of the right foot. Palms facing down. Draw your elbows towards each other. Even turn your thumbs up towards the ceiling to get a bit more of a chest opener. And breathe. Take an inhale, come on up into your crescent lunge. Your legs stay exactly where they were. Just bring your arms up overhead, parallel to each other. Roll the shoulders down and away from the ears. Taking an inhale here. As you exhale, open up into your warrior two, pivoting that back foot, planting that right heel down so that the side of your right foot is just about parallel to the back of your mat. Taking an inhale to find that alignment, shoulders over the hips. As you exhale, come down a little bit deeper into that lunge. Take a peek down, make sure that you can see your big toe on the left side, past your knee. Make any adjustments you might need, whether it be to the knee or to your hips, so that you're protecting that knee joint. Continue to breathe. Taking one more inhale here. As you exhale, left forearm to the left thigh, reach the right fingertips up and overhead. Extended side angle, breathe nice and deep into the right side of your body. On your next inhale, come on back up. Exhale, find that warrior two. And breathe. Take an inhale, straighten that left knee. As you exhale, reach the left fingertips a few inches forward, then hinge at the hips, coming into your Trikonasana, triangle pose. You want to try to have your spine as straight as possible here. Bring your left hand to either rest on your shin, your foot to the ground. Really work on stacking that right shoulder over the left. Next inhale, engage your core, come on up. Exhale, find your warrior two. As you inhale, drop that back hand, reach the left fingertips up and overhead, coming into your gentle warrior. Breathe nice and deep into the left side of your body. Inhale, come on up into your warrior two. Taking one more inhale here. As you exhale, windmill your hands, find your high plank, let's float out. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Inhale, right heel up towards the sky. Exhale, draw that knee towards the nose. Inhale, heel up. Exhale, knee towards the right elbow. Inhale, heel up. Exhale, bring the knee towards the left elbow. Inhale, heel up. Exhale, bring the knee towards the nose. Take a big step between the hands. As you inhale, engage the core. Come on up into your runner's lunge. Reaching the crown of your head up towards the front of your mat. Left heel in one plane of motion, drawing that straight line. Arms on either side of your body, palms facing down. Draw your shoulders open. Your elbows towards each other behind you. Bring the thumbs up towards the ceiling. And breathe. Inhale, come on up into your crescent lunge. Keeping your legs where they need to be, nice and solid. allowing your top body to float, arms up overhead, parallel to your ears. Roll the shoulders down and away from your ears. One more inhale here. As you exhale, open up into your warrior two, pivoting that back foot, planting that left heel so that the side of the left foot is just about parallel to the back of your mat. Shoulders over your hips. One straight line from middle finger to middle finger. Extend your arms and breathe. Taking one more inhale here. As you exhale, draw the right forearm to your thigh, left fingertips up and overhead. Extended side angle. Breathe into the left side of your body. Roll that left shoulder open. On an inhale, engage your core, rise on up, find your warrior two. Inhale, straighten the knee. Exhale, reach your fingertips forward, hinge at the hips, find your Trikonasana. Trying to keep that spine nice and straight. Tuck that left rib cage back in. Work on stacking that left shoulder over the right. Inhale, come on back up. Exhale, warrior two. Inhale, find your reverse warrior. Right fingertips up and overhead. Breathe nice and deep into the right side of your body. Inhale, come on back up into your warrior two. Exhale, come down deeper into the lunge. Take one more inhale here. As you exhale, windmill your hands. Let's flow it out. High plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And breathe. Take an inhale here. As you exhale, hopper step to the front of your mat. Take an inhale, halfway lift, straighten the spine. Exhale, forward fold. Pivot your feet so that they're hip distance apart. And really come deep into that forward fold. Let your front body just hang. Release your head, release your arms. Maybe you take hold of opposite elbows. Maybe you shake your head or nod your head a few times just to really release all of that tension, all those muscles. Just let gravity do its thing. One more inhale and exhale here. Release your hands to the mat. Pivot your feet back together. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, forward fold. Ground into your feet. Inhale, reach arms all the way up. Beautiful. Let's do some balancing. Coming either to the front of your mat or the middle of your mat, wherever you like to balance. Grounding in through that left foot. Take an inhale, reach your right foot up, coming to 90 degrees. You can bring your hands onto your hips to help you balance if that helps. Taking one more inhale to reach the crown of your head up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, drawing that right knee out towards the side. You can extend your left fingertips out to the side as well. Engage your core, find that drishti point to help you balance. For added challenge, you can bring your gaze over towards the left thumb. Continue to breathe. Taking an inhale, bring everything back to center. As you exhale, float that right foot back down. Ground in through the right foot. Taking inhale, draw that left knee to 90. Take another inhale here to lengthen the spine. As you exhale, draw that left knee out towards the side. Option to bring your right fingers reached out to the side. Option to bring your gaze over towards the right thumb. And breathe. On an inhale, drawing everything back to center. Exhale, gently float that left foot down. Let's come into tree pose, grounding in through that left foot. Bringing the bottom of your right foot to the inner thigh or to the inside of the shin. Just try to avoid that knee joint. Once you've found your balance, you can bring your hands into prayer position, pushing your thumbs into the very center of your chest, bringing your forearms parallel to the ground, pressing nice and firmly into each opposing palm, breathing into your chest, and also breathing into that space behind you between your shoulder blades. As you exhale, exhale through the bottom of that standing foot. Feel yourself get nice and grounded onto your mat. Option here to reach your branches up towards the sky if that's the tree pose that you want to take today. Few breaths here. On your next exhale, bringing your hands back to heart center. Inhale, knee forward. Exhale, float it down. Let's repeat on the second side. Grounding in through that right foot. Taking an inhale to lengthen the spine, and then bring the bottom of the left foot to the inner thigh. Finding that drishti point to help you balance. And then bringing your hands to heart center, pressing the thumb into the center of your chest. Pressing into the hands in order to open the chest and find that space between your shoulder blades. And breathe. Option to extend your branches up and out for the last few breaths here. As you exhale, bringing your hands back to heart center. Inhale, draw the knee forward. Exhale, float it on down. Coming back to the front of your mat if you're not there already. Inhale, arms up overhead. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, halfway lift. Exhale, hopper step into your high plank. Drop your knees if you need to. Take a breath. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Let's do that 2 more times. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. And one last one. Inhale, high plank. Exhale, chaturanga. Inhale, upward dog. Exhale, downward dog. Let your head hang. Take a few extra breaths. Take an inhale, come back into your high plank. As you exhale, chaturanga, but come all the way down onto your belly. Setting up for some back strengthening. Bringing your hands to the mat, just beside your rib cage. And glue your legs together, plant the top of your feet down onto the mat. On an inhale, peel your chest away from your mat, just using your back muscles. Coming into your baby cobra. Grounding in through that pubic bone. Only have about 10% weight in your hands. You can even float up your hands to test that. And when you do place your hands back onto the ground, ground them into your mat and use them to pull your body forward. finding that extra length in the spine. One more inhale. As you exhale, release, lower all the way down, release the hands, right ear onto the mat, gaze to the left. Inhale, bringing your gaze back to center. This time we're going to keep our hands on either side of our body, coming into locust pose. Inhale, peel the chest up and off of the mat. Reach your fingertips towards the back wall. Next inhale, add in the legs, contracting every muscle along the back side of your body. Really squeeze. Continue to breathe. One more inhale here. As you exhale, release. Left ear onto the mat, gaze to the right. Bringing your gaze back to center, interlocking your fingers behind your back this time. Take an inhale, peel your chest up off of the mat. Reach the fingertips forward as you exhale. Try to keep the base of your hand, the wrist area, together. Next inhale, add in the legs. You can lift your hands farther away off of your back to get a little bit extra lift. Really grounding into that pubic bone, squeezing every part of the back body to find that length. One more inhale here. As you exhale, we're going to bend our knees and reach for our ankles with our hands, coming in and transitioning into a floor bow. Kicking into your hands with your legs, trying to keep your knees and your ankles in one line. One more inhale. As you exhale, release, lowering all the way down. Right ear onto the mat, gaze to the left. Big toes touching, ankles flipped open to the side. And just breathe. On your next inhale, just lifting your head up to even things out. Left ear onto the mat, right gaze to the right. On an inhale, bringing your gaze back to center, pressing your hands into your mat just to come into a tabletop position. We're just going to flip ourselves around and do some core work. Coming flat onto your back, extending your legs up towards the ceiling. You can bring your hands to come just under the sacrum. Give yourself a little bit of cushion. The best way to balance out back strengthening is with some core. And so let's begin. Taking an inhale to extend both legs, flex the toes towards your nose. As you exhale, lower that right heel all the way to hover. Inhale, bring that leg all the way back up. Exhale, left, all the way down to hover. Inhale, bring it back up. Exhale, both heels come down to hover. Inhale, bring them back up. Exhale, bring the heels to 45 degrees. Take an inhale. Exhale, bring the heels to hover. Take a peek at your toes and just scissor your legs up and down, up and down. Bringing the heels back together. Inhale, rise all the way back up. And you can go ahead and release. Bend your knees, plant your feet onto the mat. We're going to come into a floor bridge. You want to be able to just graze your heels with your fingertips. Bring your feet so that they're hip distance apart. On an inhale, we're going to press in through both feet. Lift the hips up towards the ceiling. Really press through your palms and your forearms to help find some extra height. Option to interlock your fingers behind you and sneak your arms and shoulders under you to find a little bit more length there. To get a little bit deeper into the throat chakra, you can come up high onto the balls of your feet, up on your toes, and really use that to press your hips even further up towards the ceiling. In all of the variations, making sure that your knees are at about hip distance apart and not coming apart or coming in. One more inhale here. As you exhale, release from wherever you are. Come out of it the same way that you went in. Lowering your vertebrae one at a time until your sacrum hits the mat. Bring your feet to the outside edges of your mat. Knees fall into the middle. You can bring your left hand to your heart, right hand to your low belly. And just breathe into your hands. Every inhale, feel that chest rise. Feel your low belly fill up. As you exhale, the air comes out in the exact opposite. On your next inhale, gently coming out, we're going to come into a reclined pigeon, crossing your right heel over the left knee. Reach through your legs with that right hand. Take hold of your shin or your hamstring on your left leg. And gently begin to draw your legs up towards your chest as you exhale. As you inhale, try to ground your whole back. Extend that spine and ground the spine into the ground. And as you exhale, draw the legs up towards your chest. Working to keep our sacrum, our hips, and our shoulders pressed firmly onto the mat as we find that hip opener, the release on the right side. On your next inhale, just gently releasing, bringing that left foot back onto the ground, but keeping that right heel where it's at. We're going to tee up our arms. And as you exhale, let your legs drop over to the left, planting the bottom of the right foot to the outside of that left knee, keeping that right knee pointed up towards the ceiling, coming into a bit of a twist. If you want to go a little bit deeper, you can draw that right foot up towards the left hip, drawing it closer into the body. We're getting into the hip flexor as well as the outside of that right thigh and that right knee. So you want to continue to keep that right knee pointed up towards the ceiling. Option to bring the twist all the way up into your cervical spine. Bringing your gaze up and over the right shoulder. Inhale, bringing everything back to center. Go ahead and release that right heel. We're going to set up for the other side, crossing that left heel over the right knee. As you inhale, lift your legs up towards your body, interlocking your fingers either behind the hamstring or over the shin. As you exhale, draw the legs up towards the chest. Finding the extension of the spine with every inhale. Grounding in through the sacrum, the spine, the shoulders. And drawing your knees up towards your chest with every exhale. As you inhale, releasing your hands, bringing that right foot back towards the ground, teeing up your arms, coming into your reclined twist on the second side. Dropping the legs over towards the right, planting that left foot onto the ground just outside of the right knee. Keeping the left knee pointed up towards the ceiling, and breathe. Option to bring the left foot higher up towards the right hip. You can bring your gaze up and over the left shoulder. Sending your breath to the outside of that left hip, outside of that left knee. Take an inhale, draw everything back to the center. As you exhale, you can draw both knees up towards the chest, giving yourself a big squeeze. Just go ahead and rock back and forth until you get onto your sit bones. And then turn yourself around, coming into a child's pose. Knees nice and wide, big toes to touch. Reach those hands forward, forehead down to the mat. Really feel yourself sinking into the mat. Let your body be heavy. Feel the weight of your torso coming down towards the mat through your armpits, pointed directly onto your mat. And grounding in through the elbows, the forearm, pressing the palms into the mat, pressing all 10 pads of your fingers into the mat. Letting your forehead be heavy. On your next inhale, pressing into the palms, rising up into a tabletop position. We're going to come into a seated saddle pose. So sitting on your ankles, sort of on your shins, up on your knees. You want to draw your sit bones towards your heels. Take an inhale to lengthen the spine. And as you exhale, bring your hands behind you, fingers pointing forwards, and begin to lean your body back, bringing some weight into the hands. With an inhale, reach your chest up towards the ceiling and begin to bring your gaze, track your gaze up through your ceiling towards the upper corner of your room behind you. Really lifting the chest before you lean back, imagining you're trying to bring yourself into looking like a candy cane. One more inhale and exhale here. As you inhale, gently coming up, engaging your core to rise back. Planting your hands in front of you, rolling over your toes, finding your downward dog. Finding the length along the back side of both legs, finding the length in your spine all the way through to your wrists, grounded into the mat. Inhale, right heel up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, draw that right knee under you, coming into a pigeon. Option to bring your right shin parallel to the top of your mat if you want to go a little bit deeper. Take a quick peek behind you. Make sure that left leg is directly straight behind you. As you exhale, hinge at the hips. Begin to lower your body down towards your mat. You can rest on your forearms. If you've got a pillow or a blanket nearby, go ahead and use that as a bolster. You can bring your head towards the ground, rest it on your forearms or onto your mat. If you're feeling some strain in the hip flexor, maybe find a cushion or something and tuck that under your right hip to give your body a spot to really ground into and to signal to your body that it's okay to begin to relax and let go. And your next inhale, coming all the way back up, pressing in through your hands, finding your way back into a downward dog, and taking a few breaths here. Inhale, left heel up towards the ceiling. As you exhale, draw the left knee towards the nose, bringing it under your body, coming into your pigeon on the second side. Taking that quick peek behind you, right leg is directly extended behind. As you exhale, begin to hinge at the hips. Bring your body down towards your mat, resting on your elbows or your forearms. Really beginning to let go, let your body weight just melt into your mat. Inhale, pressing into your hands to rise up, making your way into your downward dog. Taking 3 breaths here again. The next inhale, bringing your gaze, the between your hands and coming down into a seated position. We're going to come into a reclined butterfly. So bringing the bottoms of the feet to touch, you want a diamond shape between your legs. And then slowly begin to bring your body down, coming into a reclined posture, letting your knees fall to the outside edges of your mat. Option to bring your arms up and overhead, or maybe you want to tee them up for a bit of a chest opener. Maybe you want to go back to where we were before with your hands, one hand on your chest, one hand on your low belly. Beginning to find your breath as we continue to slow things down. Allow yourself to begin to deepen your breath. Maybe you use that breath just to scan the points on your body that are touching your mat. Back of the head, shoulders, shoulder blades, arms, sacrum, hip bones, sides of your legs, your feet. Ground in through each of those points with every exhale. Feel your back body get heavy. Last few breaths here. Your next inhale, go ahead and bring your hands down and just close your legs up like a book. As you exhale, draw your knees up towards your chest. Give yourself a little bit of a squeeze. You can release your legs, bringing your shins parallel to the ground, reaching your arms to either side of your body. We're just going to come into a bit of a twist, dropping your knees over towards the right, letting them fall where they may, bringing your gaze up and over the left shoulder. To get a little bit deeper, you can cross that left knee over the right and draw that left knee towards the mat. And breathe. As you inhale, bring everything back to center and just set up for the other side. As you exhale, dropping the knees over to the left, gaze up and over the right shoulder. Just letting gravity do its thing. Again, option to bring the right knee over the left, drawing the right knee towards the mat. Continuing to breathe nice and deep into the torso, letting that breath make its way through your body. Inhale, bringing everything back to center. You can draw your knees up for a big squeeze again. Take an inhale, extend your toes one way, your fingertips the other. Find that length in your body. As you exhale, walk your legs over towards the left. Reach your body over towards the left. Cross that right heel over the left. Take hold of that right wrist and just breathe into the right side of your body, coming into this reclined extension, your banana pose. Keeping both hips and both shoulders flat on the mat so that you're getting that length up and down the right side of your body. And just breathe. Breathe into that right rib cage. Send it down the side of your torso. Right hip. All the way down to that ankle. Inhale, walk everything back to center. Exhale, repeating on the other side. Walking your feet over to the right, crossing that left ankle over. Walking your body to the right, taking hold of that left wrist. Keeping both shoulders, both hips flat on the mat. Breathing up and down the left side of your body. Really feeling it through the underarm, whole side of the torso, the hip, outside of that left leg, all the way down to that ankle. Taking an inhale, bringing everything back to center. As you exhale, you can draw your knees up towards your chest, coming into a happy baby, just to open things up and even things out. Hook onto your big toes with your peace fingers, point your finger and middle finger. Draw your knees to the outside of your body. Bottoms of your feet pointed up towards the ceiling. Try to bring your shins parallel to each other, perpendicular to the floor. You can even rock back and forth if that feels good. You can extend one leg and then the other, or both, coming into saddle or half saddle. Taking a few breaths here. One more inhale. As you exhale, release. Again, draw those knees towards your body. Good time to get any final postures out that maybe we haven't covered yet today. Whatever final movements you want to make. When you're ready, beginning to make your way into your final Shavasana. If you're making your way in, just making sure that you're spreading yourself out, finding that space, bringing the feet beyond the sides of your mat, Bringing the arms a little ways away from your body, palms facing up. Draw those shoulder blades down your back. And then come back and rest that torso. See if that extra length in the neck feels better, maybe different. Come back to your breath. Try to even out your breath so that your inhales match the counts of your exhales. Breathe into that low belly, feeling the front body rise with every inhale. And as your front body falls as you exhale, you feel your back body get heavy. Beginning the process of relaxation. Continuing with this pace of breath. Beginning to use the breath to scan your body. Starting first with the right side. Breathing into that right arm. All the way through to that right hand. Scan all the fingers on that right hand. Breathe into the right side of your torso. Breathe into the right hip. Send your breath all the way down the right leg. Down to the ankle, the foot, every toe on that right foot. For your next inhale, do the same with the left side of your body. Breathing down that left arm. Breathing into that left hand. All the fingers on that left hand. Breathe into the left side of your torso. Left hip. Down the left leg. Into the left ankle. The foot. Every toe on that left foot. Send your next breath into your torso. Scan your low belly. Relax your low belly. Relax your abdominals, your whole stomach, your diaphragm. Relax through the rib cage, the chest, the collarbone. Relax the shoulders. Release your neck, your jaw, your cheeks, the muscles around your eyes, your eyebrows, your forehead, the third eye spot between your eyebrows. Release all the muscles around your mouth, your lips, your tongue. Let the tip of your tongue rest along the back side of your top teeth. And just come back to your breath. Beginning to bring yourself back into the space, back onto the mat. Bringing yourself back into the body. Waking your body up, gently wiggling your fingers, wiggling your toes. Maybe you move your wrists, your ankles, your neck from side to side. Very small, very slow movements. When you're ready, if you're ready, rolling onto the right side of your body and just resting in a fetal position for as many breaths as you feel you need. Taking your time here. There's no need to come out. There's no rush at all. Taking this time so that your body can continue to process the work that you did tonight, but also hang on to this stillness. Thank you so much for joining me and sharing your practice with me tonight. Hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your evening, your weekend, and I'll see you guys next Thursday. Namaste. See you next week.